Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei issued a sharp warning to the United States Wednesday, rejecting calls for surrender in the face of continued Israeli airstrikes and cautioning that any American military involvement would cause irreparable damage. In a recorded video aired on Iranian state TV, Khamenei dismissed President Trump's demand for unconditional surrender and accused the U.S. of making absurd threats. Trump, who initially distanced himself from Israel's surprise strike last Friday, has since signaled possible U.S. involvement and deployed additional warships and aircraft to the region. Iran's foreign ministry also warned of all-out war if the U.S. intervenes. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes have reportedly killed at least 585 people, including civilians and high-ranking officials, according to a Washington-based human rights group. The UN confirmed damage to Iran's nuclear facilities as fears grow over the widening scope of the conflict. Federal prosecutors say the man accused of killing one Minnesota lawmaker and injuring another in a politically motivated shooting spree had a list of dozens of potential targets, including Democratic officials in at least 3 other states. Acting U.S. Attorney Joseph Thompson said suspect Vance Bolter visited the homes of 2 additional legislators the night of the attack, but one was away on vacation and the other was spared when police arrived. Authorities say Bolter spent months preparing, conducting surveillance, taking notes, and even disguising himself as a police officer. His writings named more than 45 Democratic state and federal officials across Minnesota, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin. Thompson described the attacks as the stuff of nightmares, part of a growing pattern of political violence across the U.S. Tourism across the Northeast is taking a hit due to shifting U.S. federal policies, according to several governors who gathered with Canadian premiers Monday at the Massachusetts State House for the Strong Partnerships Shared Future Summit. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey said tourism numbers are down between 20 and 60% across states like Massachusetts, New York, and Vermont, with serious impacts on supply chain and travel sentiment. Canadian school trips and credit card spending are also declining, raising concerns about job losses in hospitality sectors. Leaders from U.S. states and Canadian provinces discussed the urgent need for renewed collaboration on tourism, trade, energy, and research funding. Officials emphasized the economic interdependence between the U.S. and Canada, with Canada being the largest foreign energy supplier to the U.S. and a critical trade partner. Governor Healey reinforced that the Northeast remains open for business, calling for continued investment and cross-border support. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding, scheduled to take place around June 25th in Venice, Italy, has attracted a lot of negative attention from the local No Space for Bezos movement. Members of the movement have vowed to disrupt the $7 million wedding in whatever ways possible. The wedding will take place on Bezos' $500 million super yacht Kourou, which is set to be anchored outside of the city. "We'll throw ourselves into the canal if we have to. We'll make sure they choke on their wedding cake," activists leading the protest said, according to the Italian edition of Vanity Fair magazine. "We don't object to the marriage, but to the hubris of the technocrat feudal overlord who acts with such entitlement." Groups protesting against Bezos, the 3rd richest man in the world with a net worth of $226 billion, have also threatened to blockade the major waterways into the city, effectively cutting off supplies. If that happens, as well as causing problems for the wedding organization, it would immediately cause prices to spike for anyone within the city limits of Venice. Details of the wedding are shrouded in secrecy, but it will include approximately 200 guests, also expected to be mostly drawn from the jet-setting ultra-rich. Apple is rolling out a new feature this fall that will allow iPhone users to upload their passport into Apple Wallet for use at select TSA checkpoints, offering a digital alternative to the soon-to-be required Real ID for domestic travel. Announced during Apple's 2025 keynote event, the feature won't replace a physical passport but will serve as a convenient ID option within U.S. borders. The move comes as the federal Real ID enforcement deadline was on May 7, 2025, and only Real ID compliant licenses or other approved forms of identification are being accepted at airport security and federal facilities. Originally passed in 2005 following 9/11 Commission recommendations, the Real ID Act has faced nearly 2 decades of delays but is finally being implemented next year. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Cooking is the leading cause of home fires. Unattended cooking is the leading cause of these fires and related deaths. Therefore, keep a close eye on your cooking. If you must leave the kitchen, bring a utensil with you as a reminder of your efforts. Set a timer for food taking longer to cook. Turn pot handles towards the back of the stove. Keep a lid nearby when cooking. If a small grease fire starts, slide the lid over the pan and shut off the burner. You can take an active role in your safety. Cooking safety starts with you.
Welcome back. A 14-year-old Boy Scout from Braintree is being hailed as a hero after his quick action saved a life. Thomas Killefer of Troop 19 was honored by the Braintree Town Council with a special citation recognizing his life-saving response when he saw his friend drowning in a pool. Acting swiftly and without hesitation, Thomas jumped into action, an act of courage that also earned him commendations from both the Braintree Police and Fire Departments, who presented him with their own citations and badges for bravery. Here's more from the meeting.
So thanks for the opportunity, Council, Mayor. Chief Viola and I wanted to be part of this when we heard about what you did. And we're here on behalf of Braintree Public Safety to present to you a letter of commendation. On June 6, 2025, Scout First Class Thomas Killefer of Troop 19 demonstrated exemplary courage and preparedness by rescuing a friend in distress. This act exemplifies the motto, "Be prepared," which is Troop 19's motto, and I think the Council agrees with us on that. In public safety, we have a saying that people don't rise to the occasion, they sink to the level of training. And what happens because of the preparation of Troop 19 is you were there for your friend that day. And we honor that today because that's what we try to instill in our officers every day in public safety. So you should be very proud of yourself. 13 years old? 14 years old. Outstanding. You have a great head start. We're going to hand this to you, and the Chief Viola and I both have something to give you.
Sir, we have a challenge coin, a couple of patches for you, and great job. Great job.
Congratulations. This is a challenge coin from the police department. And then there's the business card, and come by the police station, and we'll have a tour for you as well. Congratulations.
Following the mass resignation of all members of the Braintree Zoning Board earlier this month, the Town Council has approved and appointed 4 new members to step in. Angela Kavanaugh, Raina Rubin, Jose Perez, and Richard Thomas Kleber will now serve on the board, helping guide zoning decisions in town. However, openings still remain and the town is continuing to accept applications. Here's more from the mayor.
We have before you in the next several agenda items appointments to our Zoning Board of Appeals. For context, this is a 5-member board that the mayor appoints and the council confirms. The board is comprised of 3 regular voting members and 2 associate members that would step in were there a conflict with one of the regular voting members. For the council's benefit, we are looking to appoint 4 members. That there will still be 1 open associate member that we have not selected yet. So again, an opportunity for anyone who's watching this and wants to serve to reach out. We haven't filled that spot, but the appointment of these 4 members allows us to have a quorum and be able to hold a meeting. We do have applications pending, and we do have to hold a public meeting within a time frame or be at risk of constructive approvals, which is not a place we want to be.
Over the weekend, the American Legion held a celebration for the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. Local community members and government officials like Mayor Aaron Joyce were in attendance and gave speeches. The day ended with a cake cutting led by Post 86 Commander John F. Bourne. To watch the full ceremony, head to BCAM TV's government channels, Comcast Channel 9 and Verizon Channel 26, or head to youtube.com/BCAMTV. Thayer Public Library will begin its summer hours on Monday, June 16th, operating Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., while remaining closed on Saturdays from June 21st through August 30th. The library will also be closed on Wednesday, June 19th for the Juneteenth holiday. Will close early at 5 p.m. on Thursday, July 3rd, and will be closed all day Friday, July 4th in observance of Independence Day. For 24/7 access to ebooks, audiobooks, magazines, and more, visit www.thayerpubliclibrary.org. Braintree is gearing up for its biggest celebration of the year as Braintree Day returns on Friday, June 28th, just ahead of the July 4th weekend with a full day of patriotic fun, food, and fireworks. The festivities kick off with a parade at 11:45 a.m., starting from the RMV and ending at the Hollis Elementary School. Starting at 4 p.m., the celebration moves to Braintree High School, where nearly 20 food trucks, live music, a petting zoo, and inflatable obstacle courses will keep families entertained until the grand finale, a dazzling fireworks display at 9:30 p.m. You can watch the parade on BCAM TV's public channel, Comcast Channel 9 or HD Channel 1073, and Verizon Channel 28 or HD Channel 2128, or on youtube.com/BCAMTV. The Braintree Senior Center is offering a full slate of weekly programs and special events for residents 60 years and older. Weekly offerings include daily fitness classes, men's coffee hour on Mondays, game day on Tuesdays, the Asian Outreach Group on Wednesdays, and movie day on Fridays. Special one-day events include an iPhone iPad tech class on June 20th at 1 p.m., a Cornhole League event on June 23rd at 1 p.m., and an Origami Flowers crafts class also on June 23rd at 1 p.m. All programs take place at the Braintree Senior Center, and you can call them to sign up at 781-848-1963. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Breaking news from Thayer Public Library. Our summer reading program is about to transform your summer into the ultimate gaming adventure.
That's right. From June 16th through August 14th, readers of all ages can level up at your library. Summer reading is fun for all ages, from the littlest ones in the family listening to stories and older children reading on their own.
Yes, to teens, adults, and seniors. You can read, you can listen, you can download, it all counts.
Here with us now is our gaming pro to tell you what you may find at the scene of the library's upcoming games extravaganza.
That's right. You can play this game and more at the Epic Games Extravaganza on Thursday, June 26th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. The entire library will transform into a gaming paradise.
There will be jigsaw puzzles, bingo, giant games like Jenga, video games, and so much more. You can drop in for an hour or stay all day.
There'll be plenty of snacks and drinks on hand to keep your energy levels up while you're having fun at the library.
As our resident gaming expert, I can confirm this summer is going to be epic. But let's break down what level up at your library really means. So reading over the summer is like gaining XP, experience points. The more you read, the higher your level. Log your reading, write reviews, and visit the library to keep up on your leveling.
Right, and remember, reading isn't the only way to level up this summer. We have weekly events, challenges, and prizes for participants of all ages.
Looking forward to outdoor story times at the parks, a puppet show, an event with one-up games, and more. And remember, every Friday from 10 to noon is drop-in family board games and playtime with the library's wonderful teen volunteers on hand to help out.
In this exclusive report, we've learned that readers who join our summer program have shown increased skills in concentration, imagination, and fun having. Teens can level up at your library too, with many activities and events planned to keep them involved over the summer.
The Games Extravaganza kickoff event on June 26th is just the beginning. The entire summer will feature game-themed activities, reading challenges, and adventures for everyone.
Registration begins June 16th. Visit Thayer Public Library in person or check out our website for more details.
Level up at your library.
Yeah.
Thayer Public Library Summer Reading Program, June 16th through August 14th. We can't wait to game with you.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Weymouth Mayor Robert Hedlund announced Tuesday he is stepping down after 9.5 years in office. In a message shared on social media, Hedlund did not provide a reason for his decision, but reflected on his decades of public service, calling it a privilege and honor to serve both as mayor and during his 21 years as a state senator. He thanked residents and town officials for their support and said the timing of his departure will allow the mayoral election to align with town council races this November. While stepping away from elected office, Hedlund said he plans to remain an engaged citizen and is open to offering guidance if asked. Weymouth is set to kick off Independence Day celebrations a day early with its annual July 3rd beach party and fireworks, running from 5 to 10:30 p.m. at George Lane, Wessagusset Beach. The free event will feature live music from the new band, a variety of food trucks, and a fireworks display set to begin at 9:30 p.m. Shuttle buses will run from the McCulloch Building at 182 Green Street in North Weymouth starting at 5 p.m., with return service available after the show. For more details, visit weymouth.ma.us/home/community events. The annual Hanover Day Festival is back for a full weekend of family fun running Friday, June 27th from 5 to 10 p.m. and Saturday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. at B. Everett Hall Field and Sylvester Field on Hanover Street. Admission to the festival is free and features a packed lineup including food trucks, a road race, 3-on-3 basketball tournaments, juried art show, battle of the bands, classic car show, vendor craft fair, and a fireworks show set for 9 p.m. Saturday. A cash-only carnival will also run both days with ticket and ride details available at hanoverday.com. Local chefs are set to battle it out in a high-stakes culinary showdown as the South Shore Food Bank hosts its first ever Food Fight fundraiser on Saturday, June 21st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Starland Sportsplex in Hanover. Inspired by Food Network-style competitions, the event will be hosted by celebrity chef and 5-time CHOP champion Stephen Coe, with competitors vying for the chance to challenge him in the final round. Chefs from top area restaurants and food trucks like Lobster Love and Wicked Flava will whip up dishes using ingredients from the Feed the Way pantry bus. Organized by the South Shore Food Bank, the event aims to spotlight food insecurity while celebrating community and creativity. Excitement is building across Massachusetts as the state prepares to host part of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with Gillette Stadium, renamed Boston Stadium for the tournament, set to welcome 7 matches, including 2 knockout rounds and a quarterfinal. The global event kicks off in 1 year, and officials anticipate 2 million visitors and more than $1 billion in economic impact. A massive countdown clock now ticks in the heart of Boston, while hotels begin filling with reservations and state leaders ramp up preparations. Governor Maura Healey called it the greatest sports city in the world and assured residents that transportation, infrastructure, and services will be ready. While no new buildings will be constructed, Healey said the facilities and spaces created for the World Cup will continue benefiting the community long after final whistle. Though the teams playing at Gillette haven't been announced, fans from around the globe are already making plans to be part of the historic moment. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment. Welcome back to Braintree today. Now, before we get into movie recommendations, some entertainment news. Anne Burrell, a celebrity chef and beloved Food Network host, died Tuesday morning at her home in Brooklyn, New York, according to her family. She was 55. Anne was a beloved wife, sister, daughter, stepmother, and friend. Her smile lit up every room she entered, her family said in a statement. Burrell began her career in television after teaching at the Institute of Culinary Education in the early 2000s. She became a star by appearing on Iron Chef America, Chef Wanted, Chopped, and Worst Cooks in America. The New York City Police Department told People magazine that when officers arrived at about 7:50 a.m., Burrell was found unconscious and unresponsive. She was pronounced dead at the scene. A cause of death is pending an autopsy with the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. Now, here are 3 must-watch movies that'll have you glued to the screen all weekend long. First, Straw follows a single mother who navigates a series of unfortunate events, leading her down an unforeseen path where she becomes embroiled in a situation she never envisioned, finding herself at the center of suspicion in an indifferent world. The film stars Taraji P. Henson and Tiana Taylor. You can watch Straw now on Netflix. Up next, Surviving Ohio State is a documentary chronicling Dr. Richard Strauss's years-long abuse told in part by his victims, male wrestlers and football players, most of whom have never spoken about their trauma. The documentary features John Wertheim and Mark Coleman. You can watch Surviving Ohio State now on Max. And finally, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina follows an assassin trained in the traditions of the Ruska Roma organization, who sets out to seek revenge after her father's death. The film stars Ana de Armas and Keanu Reeves. You can watch Ballerina now in theaters. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. You can also now see us in high definition on Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.